On Mars, you don't wake up. You verify you're still allowed to.
It's breathing, but not well.
Build external regolith shielding and deploy an oxygen buffer canister outside the airlock.
Mars doesn't need to break you fast. It only needs you to procrastinate.
Recommended EVA duration, 42 minutes. Wind increase expected after.
Survival isn't only staying alive today. It's preventing tomorrow from becoming impossible.
Doors don't slam on Mars. They quietly vanish. On Mars, brute force makes new problems. Precision makes fewer. The mountain doesn't negotiate. It only responds to what you disturb.
The smallest measurement can confirm the biggest relief.
Prevention is invisible until the day you realize the disaster didn't happen. The rover doesn't need courage. It needs obedience. Sometimes the mission is not to go farther. It's to keep the option of going anywhere at all.
We don't let it rot our air.
If you can measure it, you can manage it. If you can't, it manages you.
You don't wait for failure on Mars. You treat wear like a countdown.
Quiet on Mars can be a trap.
You don't build a wall on Mars. You teach the wind a new habit. The brain is part of life support. Treat it like hardware.
The difference between science and sacrifice is whether you can walk away.
Mars rarely gives you one cause.
It gives you a web.
You don't starve because you ran out of food. You starve because you let your food become something else.
O2 20.1 to 20.2%. CO2 0.68%.
The deepest victory on Mars is boring air.
Mars doesn't delete you with violence. It deletes you with time. The only structures that matter here are the ones that keep working when you stop looking. The planet doesn't hate you. It just doesn't care whether you guessed right.
Mars always returns to default. Your job is to build a life that survives the default.
Keeping plants alive is easy. Keeping them from killing you is the real skill.
The ground doesn't shout. It taps twice and waits to see if you panic.
Quiet is not comfort. Quiet is control.
Mars gives you patterns. Your job is to treat them like forecasts, not trivia.
Mars never gives you one lever. It gives you a machine with missing parts.
The best tool on Mars is updating the plan faster than the failure.
In a sealed base, your waste is just another atmosphere you're managing.
On Mars, survival is building habits into the landscape.
The cave is your infrastructure, if you treat it like one.
The planet always wins the clock. You survive by leaving early.
A plan is a survival tool, only if it survives the day.
When patterns change, you assume the planet is moving, not just signaling.
Mars doesn't destroy your work. It simply keeps asking you to repeat it.
The safest air is the air you confirm, not the air you assume.
Comfort is negotiable. Contamination isn't.
Mars doesn't always show its teeth. Sometimes it just tightens the air.
That's the last cycle.
On Mars, cleanliness is not comfort, it's survival.
That's not a rock.
I should be building. Precision is a fingerprint. This one has hands.
We track what can kill us. That's the job.
They may have found a beacon, but the ground around it is a trap. Survival means learning the shape of danger before stepping closer.
The storm doesn't just test your shelter, it tests your habits. The moment you discover a path, Mars asks if you're disciplined enough to wait. The planet doesn't care about your timer. It cares about your mistakes.
The cave doesn't collapse all at once. It teaches you to ignore the evidence first.
Home. Now.
A storm doesn't have to be big to be expensive.
No EVA until filter service and stable weather. We're grounded.
That was the price of one sensor.
Data is useless if you die collecting it.
Storm posture. Now.
Before the planet hits you, you tighten every weak point.
If it survives the storm, it's not the storm.
Pulse not dependent on visibility. We plan for the worst while it's still a plan.
On Mars, even backup plans have a price.
Berm integrity check after storm.
Engineering becomes shelter when weather turns violent.
Preparation is the only way to buy seconds when seconds matter. The most expensive victories are the ones that cost you your way home. Sometimes surviving means leaving treasure exactly where it is. The planet waits until you're returning to change the rules. The greatest engineering on Mars is the ability to come back. Finding something isn't success. Returning with it is.
Survival is engineering your curiosity into something safe.
The moment you start regenerating what you use, you stop being a visitor.
The end of a day on Mars is not sleep. It's setting tomorrow's odds.
The future you want on Mars depends on the risks you refuse today.
Fred. CO2 0.80%.
O2 20.1%, delta P stable.
Civilization on Mars begins as something thin that refuses to fall.
On Mars, your shelter is made of whatever you're smart enough to turn into protection.
Survival is not one victory. It's a chain of decisions that keeps the next problem from becoming the last.
Oh, now time?
We don't chase. We maintain.
The safest EVA is the one you barely do.
Speed isn't recklessness when the plan is narrow.
Sometimes survival is just cleaning.
We watch. We don't poke.
If it moves the dust, it moves your odds.
Filter 89%, CO2 0.81%.
Filter 89%, sear 1%.
We plant a witness, then we run home.
The smartest step toward danger is the one your body doesn't take.
We plan for the worst while it's still a plan. We get the witness. We can come home.
The planet erases your footprints, not your responsibilities.
It stayed. It recorded.
Good. Now, what did it see?
The planet is conducting something.
It's hardware behaving like weather. We were right to say no. We don't defeat Mars, we balance it. The signal isn't a miracle, it's a hazard. They will not trade air and power for curiosity.
Heroism here is restraint.
Survival is engineering your curiosity into something safe.
The moment you start regenerating what you use, you stop being a visitor.
The end of a day on Mars is not sleep. It's setting tomorrow's odds.